Okay. Ah, there we go. Perfect. Make sure that we are outputting some audio here. All right, so this is going to be quite the simple thing. I don't know how long this live stream is going to last. It would not surprise me if it doesn't last very long at all. So, a buddy of mine reached out to me, a friend of mine on my Discord reached out to me and wanted me to build a car for drifting. For him, he found a really cool Monte Carlo. Original credit goes to EX Mods. That's the original author of the mod. I don't have 3D modeling skills, so I don't typically do any of that stuff. But I can tune a car pretty damn well once I start working. Once I get my hands on it, as long as it's not encrypted, right? So this is just something we're going to have some fun with. We're going to. He doesn't want it to be too crazy or anything like that. Like, he doesn't want it to be like over the top, like some wild drifting build like I typically do with my pro cars or anything like that. Like, my pro cars are a little out of control. So I think he's saying something, a pretty mild build, nothing that's gonna, rip faces off or anything like that. So I think this will be fun to see what we can get away with. I'm going to try to keep him somewhere between 450 horsepower and 500 horsepower. I'm probably going to go slightly above what I did with the Impala, whereas the Impala was still on bone stock suspension and it was still very much a boat. It was still very much what I would call a street specification car. I'm going to make this more like, yes, it's going to be more of a grassroots car that's for fun, but maybe one day you would put a roll cage in it and go tandem drifting and maybe try to win a couple of local competitions with it. Maybe nothing, outside of like the tri-state area, but you're going to try to win some local comps, maybe a couple of regional comps with it, and we'll see what happens there. So that's what we're going to do. I think the first thing to do before we do anything is we're going to need to drive it. So the first thing the thing I noticed the most as I put my gloves on here is that it is automatic, as it requires the paddle shifters. It's a 4-speed automatic, so we're going to have to change that pretty immediately. If he wants it to. I mean, it's up to him. It's not me. I'm not building this for me. But I would imagine that with a drifting car, you'd want to have full control over each gear. And you'd want to be able to take to the next level. So yeah, we'll see. We shall see. I'm going to actually edit my title. And I'm going to save that title. Yeah. Oh, Assetto Corsa modding as opposed to just Assetto Corsa. There we go. Perfect. So, yeah. Oh, no. But, yeah, so, sorry, I got distracted. My partner is at a concert, and I am watching them. I'm texting them back and forth. So let's take this thing out. Let's get right to the action. Let's do some driving. I'm gonna make sure the volume isn't too loud for the car. Hopefully it's not too loud for what you guys get. But I think I just set us up on drive drift circuit, so that shouldn't be too difficult. I'm gonna have to. That's loud as hell. Holy crap! That's loud for me. So let me make sure that's not too loud in OBS. No, that's not too bad. Turn it down a bit more. Sounds good, though. That does sound good. So it says it's only got 180 horsepower. I'll have to check the powerlet and stuff and see how that all maps out, but it's claiming 180 horsepower. It's automatic. Let's adjust our seating position here. Recenter the camera each time we adjust something here, just so that we are sure of what it is we're doing. Alright, that is a big ass steering wheel. Or we are just way too close. Okay. Try to line that up with my FOV so it's actually proper for what I'm doing with my wheel. So again, yeah, this is automatic, which means I need to use my sequential. That sounds good. You can hear the induction sounds. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to take it out. We're gonna see how it drives. So I'm running, I've got brand new monitors, so they're 240 hertz, so I'm running Assetto Corsa uncapped. You guys will have to let me know how things look on your side. I've got FreeSync on, and hopefully things look good to go. The head tracking is a bit stuttery because it's only 30 frames per second, but yeah, let's see. Oh, first thing I'm gonna do is turn my force feedback down. I run a 21 Newton meter wheel, so force feedback is like something that it's so difficult to find a car with decent force feedback. They all have like their multipliers set at like Logitech G29. You know, I believe this thing only has 180 horsepower. It will not break free. Wow. Oh, you could clutch kick an automatic. That's always fun. Well, let's see if we can. No. No. E-brake work? E-brake works. Alright. So 180 horsepower. Oh my god. It is... This thing is not wanting to cooperate. It is not good. It'll be fun tracking the progress of this thing going from not a great drifting car at all to something that might actually be able to, you know, link a course. Alright, so I think that gives us a feel for it. So I'm gonna go ahead and exit. I'm gonna pull my gloves off. That was kind of cool. Oh, I can't believe I did it as a hot lap. That's dumb. Let me go back to practice. How the hell am I supposed to make my teammates better with practice? Not a game, not a game, not a game. We're talking about practice. All right. Okay, so let's unpack the data of the car. So that's the first step, is we have to unpack it and make sure the data's not encrypted. And that doing that, you have to, in order to get to where you can unpack data, if you've never done that before, all you do is go to your About section, and then you go down here and you tap on the version number 5 times, and it'll ask you if you want to unlock developer mode. Once you've unlocked developer mode, you're good to go. So back to content. So this is the car. Once again, we're going to stick with a good rule of thumb that I've learned the hard way, is that when building out a car for drifting or racing or whatever, try to stick to a single track until you get the car dialed in, and then go out from there. So like ACS NOLA is a track I'm very familiar with because I built my pro car. This thing, I built my pro car, and I like it in that color. I built my pro car at ACS NOLA. That probably has a bajillion laps there. But then you can see ACS NOLA's right there, but then I've tested out a bunch of different other locations. But ACS NOLA, I definitely have the most amount of laps there, just getting it tested, getting it built, getting it dialed in. So let's go back to the Monte Carlo, and this is the file. So the first thing we're going to do, I'm not going to go too crazy with anything on that front. The first thing I will do is, let's see here. What do I want to do? I think I'm going to start off with the drivetrain. Yeah, let's start off with the drivetrain. That's probably a good idea. Because I want the... Move my Notepad++. Yeah, let's take a look at this. Let's see. Okay, so these are our gear. That's our gearing. I mean, that's fine for now. So it does have a limited slip differential. It's just not very good. So let's, so one thing I don't like to do is I don't like to have 100% power to the differential. Basically 100% is like a welded diff. So if you have power and coast at 100, you're basically running a welded diff, especially if you've got the preload running pretty high. So I'm going to bump up the power. Let's go. A good starting point for me is 60-65. That seems to work with most vehicles really, really well. And we'll deal with this thing being an automatic later. For now, I will leave it alone. Yeah, we'll leave it alone. We'll let it remain an automatic for now. Then I wanted to look at your powerlet, your lookup table, and then your engine. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? There you are. Okay. So RPM 5500. You don't have any damage dialed in, so I guess it can just keep going. Something else I'm going to be utilizing will be a tool that my friend turned me on to, the torque helper. That's this guy. So this is how I verify settings from what, because sometimes modders will say, oh, it's got, 400 horsepower, and then you put it into your torque helper and it's got, 650 or 250. And you're like, you didn't build your lookup table properly. So, yeah, torque looks fine. Power's 142, 155, and that's going to be wheel. This is going to be at the wheels. I don't know. See, I don't know why it's saying BHP, because maybe unless because brake horsepower. Yeah. So yeah, 156 brake horsepower. That's about 180 at the wheels. So we shall see. I'm going to leave it at 180 horsepower for now. And we're going to take it back out with all we've done so far is just change that. I'm actually going to bump up the preload on the differential to 80 Newton meters, because I can't have the preload be less than the amount of torque that my direct drive wheel makes. So let's go back to Content Manager. Let's go back to Drive. I'm going to leave my gloves off for this one. The gloves are off. That is a good sounding car. That does sound very good. All right, let's make sure we're good to go there. All right, let's go back. All right, so that is... All right. And it's already doing better with just the stepping up of the all right, so you can see already that it's already starting to handle drifts a bit better. All right, I'm actually going to close out co-driver because I'm not doing any rallying right now, nor am I building pace notes. I'm going to cut the force feedback down a little bit more. Still really heavy on the counter. Alright. Alright, so I'm going to bump that up some. Yeah, 60 is just too much. 60... I wonder what the force feedback multiplier on this thing is. It's gotta be... Watch it not even be all that high, it's just the tires. Alright. This is a big, lazy engine. It's actually not even that big. If I'm not mistaken, the Monte Carlo SS got the 305 or the 350. Someone who's watching this that knows more than I do, let me know, because I believe this got the 350. Okay, there we go. We had a little bit of a slide. I had to kind of turn into it. Good lord. A little clutch kick. Clutch kicking on Monte Carlo. An automatic Monte Carlo. Seems legit. I love the antenna on the hood. For authenticity's sake. Alright. There we go. A little bit of sliding. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. So definitely happier. Still not very happy with my decisions to drift. So we'll have to wait and see how that all turns out. But we can go back to our... Let's go back to... Should we go straight away to giving it more power? I don't know if that's the call. Like, I don't know if that's the play. I can get rid of the pace calculator. We're not doing hill climbs right now. I'm glad you were enjoying it, Ted. So... We'll go H pattern. He just let me know he doesn't mind going H pattern. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to borrow an H pattern from one of my other builds. I don't know which one I'm going to borrow though. Let's do this guy. Let's go 6 speed. Let's drop a 6 speed in there. What do you guys think? I think a 6 speed's a good. That's from my Drift Camaro. And that's got a 3.3. So we'll save that. I gotta go. So now, something that you have to pay attention to is if you set a final drive ratio, you have to make sure that your ratios lookup table or your RTO and your final RTO allow for that. So these are the allowed. Actually, that's not the allowed gear ratios. That's the allowed gear ratios out of my drift Camaro. So let's go back to the data for this car, and let's go to your type. Where's your finals RTO? You do not have an RTO file, unless I'm missing it. Let's refresh. No. So this car does not have a finals RTO or a ratios RTO. I'm going to donate the one from my car. So we're going to wind up using them anyway. So these are the gear ratios allowed. And this is the final drive ratios allowed. 3.3 is right there. And this is the ones that are allowed in the transmission itself. So make sure everything that we put there is allowed. Is that allowed? 255, 195, 251, 250. So we do not have a 255 file in here. So let's go. There's a 255 and then a 195. So Make sure I don't see the 255. I don't see a 255. 2.55? No. Yeah, so we'll put a 255 in there. A 2.55. Oh. 2.550. And then a 195. That's right there. That's a 1955 anyway. 195. 195. 121. Then a 51. Then a 21. I know this is like watching someone code, right? This is this has to be absolutely riveting, absolutely riveting. That was a and a and a 155 was it? 195 151. So let's go back to here. 1.95. Not 11. Oh, 121, 151. Yeah, there. 121. Okay, that already exists. And then a 110. Put that right there. 1.10. 1, yeah, 1.10. 1.10. Okay, and then 0.99, which does not exist, which is fine. We can absolutely make all of that work. So there's our ratios. There's our final drive. The 3.3. Oops, the 3.3 is already there, so we're good to go. We're gonna leave that alone for now. I don't think I want to mess with the engine quite yet. Like I don't want to do too much with power quite yet. I really, when I'm building a pro car, I'll kind of build the car around it being like a powerhouse machine. But when I'm not doing that, I'd much rather have it just be as close to the factory engine as possible without going absolutely bonkers. So let's drive this with the gear ratios and see. First, let's make sure the clutch and transmission. Let's make sure the transmission and everything works. It's still going to be automatic. I forgot to change that. I'm sorry. I forgot to change it from an automatic, so now it's just a 6-speed automatic. I'm gonna copy the profile out of my Camaro. Well, I'm gonna mimic the profile out of my Camaro. I will not copy it one for one. I think we could take all that out of that, so we'll see. So this is your okay, so this is our Monte Carlo. Let's take a look here. I just want to make sure that we're good to go. We're not going to break anything. Oh, they actually have very similar gearbox configurations. 350, 370, 01. That's mine. 350, 370, 0. Let's go ahead and make it a manual. And we'll leave it kind of slippery for now. We do not want an auto clutch. And we do not want, whoops. An auto clutch. Okay. All right, that's cool. Let's drive. All right, so now now it should be a manual. It should require the clutch. It should be a 6-speed. It should be a rather short 6-speed as well. Like, it sounds so good. Like, I know that he wants me to put in a supercharger, like an F-mod type supercharger, but I am still pulling in. Oh, you know why I'm still pulling that in? Because I am dumb. I'm like, how come I'm still pulling that in? I'm dumb. Certain things do not change unless you delete that data ACD. All right, so now we should have the fully engaged differential, the short 6-speed. Oh yeah, we should be good to go. Let's see. That sounds so good. Yep, all right, there we go. Manual transmission. All right, so now we have our differential at 60, 65, which is, like I said, a good starting point. And now we have our manual transmission. Yep. Yes. Still only has 180 horsepower. But she'll drift already. No steering angle. This thing has no steering angle. What is your second gear good for? Let's go back to the pits. That's actually not too bad. 50, 66, 85. Okay, so we need to do a couple different things here. So one thing that's, for me at least, that's pretty important when setting up someone, well, excuse me, words, how do they work? When setting up a drifting vehicle for someone, or even for myself, is to allow them to kind of scale their options in game. So I'm going to, I believe, is that under setup? Yeah, there we go. Use gear sets 0. So you set that to 0, and now if we go back in sim, yeah, if we go back into the sim, one of the things that's really important for me is to allow people, or myself, to be able to actually change their gear ratios while still in the sim. You don't want to have to load up an INI file to make things. So if I go here, still, I wonder why that is. I am confusion. I am confusion. I don't think I did anything different with my Camaro. Boop. Let's see. I'm kind of using my Camaro as a reference because that was the most recent thing that I was building. Use gear sets 1. Yeah. Go clicks 1. So yeah, no, I didn't need to change that. Then what is it, my friend? Is it under car.ini? No. No, it is not. So let's go back to setup. Use gear sets 1. Oh, you know what it probably is? It's probably that it's not seeing the finals RTO because it probably doesn't know to look for that. So let's go into drivetrain and see if do I need to point to a file. Doop, 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 doop. Nope, that looks good. That looks good. Let's go to your setup file then. Oh, there we go. Bam. That's the one. That's the one. All right, so let's see if that helps. Or did I just break it? I've been known to break things. Okay, cool. There we go. Now we can adjust our ratios accordingly. Let's try a 373 or a 3. I guess a 37. We'll see if shorter gearing helps this thing out, especially with only 180 horsepower. 180 horsepower. How did Americans manage to get so few horsepower out of such large sounding, out of such large engines? Woo! Come on, baby. Get sideways, stay sideways. This is silly. It's getting there already. Like, we really haven't done much. Like, IRL, this would not be all that much money and time invested. It'd be a few weekends. The 6-speed transmission swap would be the hardest part. I would probably IRL not have a quick change differential, so that's why I'm trying to pick a differential. Keeping in mind that whatever we go with, come on. Keeping in mind that whatever we go with for the differential is going to have to cope with whatever power we wind up sending. Let's, alright, cool. So that is a little bit better. Let us go back to our lookup table in Torque Helper. What's the other Torque Helper I have open? Oh, that's from my Drift Taxi. See, I told you I use this thing all the time now. My buddy Nick showed that to me. I've been using it ever since. Alright, so I like the curve, so that's not too bad. Let's go up a bit. Yeah, make that a bit smoother. That's too much. Oop, don't want that. That's awful. No. Let's have a bit more gradual of a fall off. Because what that will do is give us a bit more control at the top end, because I'm going to reset your rev limit as well. Your limit is at 5,500. Let's move it to 6,500. That should be that's 1,000 more RPM. That's a lot. That's a lot more. So what we're going to do is we're going to move this to. We're going to make this 6,000. 6,000. That's 6,500. Say 5,500 will be 100. There we go, 150. Does that not care? I was like, come on, show me something. Show me something different. All right, cool. Okay, cool. We're gonna back up. We're gonna go back. We're gonna raise this up a bit more. We're already doing much better. We're over 160, or we're right at 160 horsepower. We went from 155 wheel horsepower to 160. Just changing the map. Yeah, no, let's keep that like that. It's 4,000. Whoops, that's too much. Yeah, let's have that have a bit. Yeah, there we go. Nice little gradual fall off. At least we're over 160 horsepower now, so 270, so 29. I don't really like that peak. That's a dumb peak. Yeah, that's much better. And can we fix this guy here? It's at 1495, so at 1500. Whoops. Yeah, there we go. Let's add in a 750 RPM. Oh, 130. 20, 110. That's 115. Yeah, nice little gradual climb. There we go. So we're going to have a nice little gradual climb there. Nice little rise in torque. Right now we're at 168 wheel horsepower-ish. All right, so I'm going to take this. We're going to go back to our power loot. B. And now I'm going to go to my engine. Control A, Control C. Drivetrain. Oops, nope, not drivetrain. Engine. And make sure I am modifying the right one, because I would hate to overwrite my drift car. That would be less than fun. All right, let's try it out. Let's see if we blow it up. I think I've got mechanical damage turned off, so probably won't blow it up. But and we also don't have a damage output, so or a damage entry in the loop in the engine.ini. So let us go. So this is back with our 330 rear gears. I got to keep that in mind. That already feels better. Come on. I mean, there is no tire smoke. Which you expect, you know, for under 200 wheel horsepower. I just cannot believe this thing only has 200 wheel horsepower. Or 160 wheel horsepower has less than 200 wheel horsepower, and with an engine that sounds like that. Alright, so it's definitely got like exhaust with the way it sounds in the beginning, right? Like, yeah. Yeah, so that is good to go. Let's, I think we should probably go for 300 wheel horsepower without boost. That probably sounds a bit ridiculous to go from 160 to 300, but that actually, when it comes to tuning these old V8 cars, like from the 80s, that actually wasn't unheard of. To see these cars go from, you know, 200 wheel horsepower to, you know, 310 wheel horsepower by, you know, removing a restrictor or changing how the fuel is delivered. Because, I mean, like, legitimately, they were so restricted, like, during the Lee Iacocca era of production cars. So we're gonna have to go up quite a bit on our torque map here. Oh man, let's see. So I'm gonna go. Let's move everything up to the next digit up. Whoops, that's too high. 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2. 2. Let's go 1, 5. And then we'll go 100. 150? Yeah, that's smoother. So where are we now? We're at 200. We're at 228 horsepower at a high. So let me see how that looks. That graph looks kind of weird. I don't like this, so I'm gonna fix that. I don't like this, and I don't like that. But I think if I fix this, that will look better. So what is this one? That's 6,000 RPM. Oh, because I didn't change that. I'm an idiot. There we go. That looks much... Oh, God, that looks so much better. Okay, that's looking really good, guys. That's looking real good. All right, let's take this, pop this into our powerlet. I'm wrong. Powerlet. Where is... There. Good Lord, I can't do anything. Okay, now to redrive this. So now we should be able to go here, scale, recalculate. Yes, there we go. 263 horsepower with about 228 of that going to the wheels. Let's drive. I'm fairly certain you can get 300 wheel horsepower out of a built 80s GM. Not even really all that built, just, you know, built enough. Like bolt-ons and like some cams and shit. Like I said, messing with all the fuel stuff. Let's see how this goes. Here we go. Oh, she'll actually hold the drift. There we go. Whoa! All right. Am I gonna get any tire smoke? No, but I can transition. Couldn't do that before. I can almost link the course. It's still running out of freaking power though. Like there's too much grip. The tires are good. The tires are actually well modeled. I wonder where they got them from. The tires are super well modeled. Oh. Come on, just go in there. There we go. That was a good link. Oh, cool. We made a little bit of tire smoke. You can see some fading tire smoke off in the distance there. Let's my rear tires are actually getting hot. Like they weren't even getting above 109 degrees. They weren't getting above 100 degrees Celsius before, but now they're at 109 left and 111 right. There we go. There we go. I still have to e-brake quite a lot. And do a lot of steering correction, but most of that is suspension. Oh, she responded to a clutch kick. All right, let's see if any of those replays look decent, or what that replay even looked like. Yeah, you see how wobbly it is. It just wants to spin. All right, let's take a look here. I think it was actually able to make some tire smoke, which is impressive for this car. This is not where I would want the camera to be. All right, so let's go here. Let's go to the chase cam. There you go, like that. Use the drone. You're leaving tire marks, which is good. Are you able to heat up those tires enough? A little bit of smoke. A little bit of smoke. Oh, she's doing it. She's doing it. She's doing it. Ah! I made that. Oh, dude, that's crazy. That's crazy! Oh no, that's nuts! Oh, that's nuts! I love that. I love that. All right, so let's let's try to get back up to 300 wheel horsepower. That's really funny to me. All right. Oh, that's funny. All right, so we're going to what is it going to take to get to 300 wheel horsepower? I don't want to turbocharge it or supercharge it quite yet. Let's just bump these numbers up. 235 to 255 will make you a solid 200. You might have to make you like 225. Whoa. I hit the wrong button. At 0, it's making 70. Do that. Whoa. That's not. There we go. Then at 0, you make 0. Because you don't make torque at 0 RPM. Yeah. We're power creeping. We are power creeping. We are getting there slowly but surely. 95. Or 20 blaze it. There we go. That's more realistic. Oh. We'll put a 0 entry in there. So that's not quite 300 horsepower. It's 240. That's 240 at the wheels. I feel like I'm gonna have to really step this thing up to get to the numbers I want to see. Let's see. Whoa. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, we'll pull that up there. It's a little bit more linear there. Oh, please stop that, David. 100, 420, that's too much. 410, 415, yeah. And we'll take you to 400. 300, 90, 5, 375, 370, 380. Yeah. Okay, so that gives us this curve here, which I'm going to say doesn't fall off enough. $200, probably a good fall off for that. There we go. Yeah, let's do that. So what I did was I just put the end of the fall off outside the rev range, and that gave us a smoother bit right there. We are at 262 horsepower. That sounds pretty good at the wheels. I wonder what that means for crank horsepower. We're about to find the fuck out. Calculate curves. 307 horsepower. I like it. 257 at the wheels. 267 at the wheels. Yeah. All right. So that's putting us at the power range where we wanted to go before we start adding boost. And that's starting to sound like... That's starting to sound like... well, it's starting to... It seems like that should perform like it sounds. Because it sounds like it should have 1 billion horsepower. Yeah. Yeah, 6,500. Is that even on the dash? Yeah! A properly tuned engine. So this is like synonymous to what you would get like out of a Jegs. If anybody's ever bought an engine from Jegs or any of those like power, like back when like horsepower TV was a thing and you could buy crate engines. This is 300 horsepower at the crank. 260 at the wheels was something you could literally buy, like a full-on crate engine or a complete engine. Let's go. Yeah, there we go. There we go. There we go. Yes! 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 Get in there. I like it. So we are able to get it, not only are we able to get it drifting, we are able to keep it drifting. And we could clutch kick it now. But remember, like in the beginning of the stream, it wouldn't even clutch kick. It would not even clutch kick for us, so... Even though Assetto Corsa let us engage the clutch, and I'm putting that in air quotes, it would not engage the clutch for us. There we go. All right. Oh, okay. All right. So the suspension is still not the best, but we're not going to worry about that for now. As far as that's concerned, what I will do, I'm going to stick with that power for a little while, because what we're going to do is we're going to go to showroom. Hopefully the game doesn't like crash. And I'm going to see what the steering angle looks like. So that's what we're working with right now for steering angle. Keep that in your brain boxes. I'm actually going to do a print screen, and I'm going to capture that image, because what I want to do is I want to compare that to after we do our modifications, because that is all we're working with for steering angle. And it was holding the drift pretty well. I mean, some of that was me, but I'd like to believe some of that was me anyway. But yeah, so we're going to go into suspension, and this is what I call removing the rack limiters, because basically what we do is we go in and we, by a very tiny amount, we increase the steering angle by lowering these two numbers. If you go too far down, you get weird wheels tucked under the car the wrong way type of thing. So make sure that I am modifying the Monte Carlo. I am. So let's go from 158 to 152. And from 133 to 130. And let's see what that does. And this should give us some more steering angle, but I hit drive. I did not mean to do that. I did not mean to do that. I don't want to drive. I just want to load it up. But what I don't want is I don't want it to have pro drift car steering angle. All right, so that's a bit more. It's not a crazy amount more. Let me pull up that screen cap. It's into here and here. No, it's not. It's under... Where did I go? I think it's on pictures, right, David? Pictures. Yeah, screenshots. All right, so... yeah, that was the original. That's where we are now. It's not that much better. So I'm going to recenter my wheel. Here we go. And then I'm going to go back to my suspension file, and I'm going to raise this number some, and we'll see what that does for us. Showroom. Let's see. This is where it starts to get a little bit tedious. All right, so yeah, not too crazy. We don't want crazy, we want better. Okay, so I'm gonna go 150, 125. I think that's gonna break something. We're gonna find out. Okay, cool. Again, not crazy. We don't want crazy. We want something that, yeah, see how you can see the gap here is not really all that great. And we're starting to open up that gap a bit more. Still not as much as we would like, but we're opening up a bit more. Go back to my 20, 40. making sure I'm adjusting the right thing. So I feel like it's not making, like on some vehicles, you change that number very slightly and you've got freaking pro drift angle. This car is being a little bit more stubborn. So yeah, there we go. Now we're starting to really open it up. We're really starting to open that up there. Okay. Okay, cool. So let's straighten you back out. Let's go 1 1 1 3. I feel like this is gonna. I feel like we're starting to get to the too much. Okay, there we go. That's a lot better. Make sure it holds up going the other way. It does. So that is about the equivalent of what you would get removing the rack limiters from a car. You'd go from about that. You'd go from about that much gap to about that much, because the rack limiters are pretty much just so you don't overstress your steering rack and so that you don't break the suspension components, because typically from a geometry standpoint they weren't set up to allow you to steer that much. So now we're going to go for a drive and see what happens. More power. Oh, and she's got steering angle for days. She can actually catch the drift. Look at this! Look at this car! Yo! Can she heat up the rear tires? Bro! I'm linking the course! Woo! Spoke too soon. There we go. Over-rotated. But that's going to happen when you don't have pro steering angle and you try to throw a pro angle at it. There we go. Let's flick. Oh, in the wall. All right, so that's what I wanted to check. I wanted to see what the force feedback multiplier was on this car. So again, I'm not going to mess with the force feedback multiplier. I'm just curious, but because this is not a build for me. It's under car.ini, I believe. Your force feedback multiplier is 1.8, so it's almost 2 times the force feedback. So it's basically like I run my force feedback at 20%, so that's almost 40% of a 21 Newton meter wheel. So I'm not going to mess with that. I'll leave that alone because this is going to somebody with a 5 Newton meter wheel, and they're going to enjoy that level of force feedback. So just because I don't enjoy it, because it doesn't feel very realistic to me, because I know that I've driven an 88 Monte Carlo SS, and this is not an SS, this is a standard Monte Carlo, but I've driven a Monte Carlo SS in real life, and I know that the steering is not very heavy. It does tighten up, but even at its heaviest, it doesn't get that, unless you blow the power steering pump or something, or you're overdriving the power steering pump. All right, so let's go back to Content Manager. All right, so now let's go for 300 wheel horsepower. And these numbers that we're editing here are in Newton meters, not in foot pounds. So if it seems like there's no way that thing's making 325 foot-pounds of torque at 1500 RPM, You're right, but it might be making 325 newton meters of torque. 335. 335, 345, 395, 25, 7, 30. No, let's take you back down to 25, 8. Yeah, that's good. 5, 45, 50. Or 60. There we go. There we go. Let's have some fun there. Oh, I keep pressing the wrong button. No, that's too much. Let's go here. Even that out some. that's silly. $415. Take it to 400. 10. 100. Leave that 400. Actually, I'm gonna go 405. Take this up to 20. Up to 40. Take you up to 60. 70. 70. 60. 40. It'll be 405. 55. It'll be 95. 60. It'll be 10. It'll be 10. All right. So that's getting us pretty close to our 300 wheel horsepower mark. $305. Okay, so whoa. There we go. That's pretty close to 300, but not quite 300. So let's go up by 10. What's a start? Oh, there we go. I was like, why does that drop off so much? It's getting us pretty close. Hey, congratulations, you broke into the 300s. Alright, so that's almost, I mean, it's like right at, it's like 290, that's gotta be like 295, dude. 291. Oh man, this is tedious. All right, so that brings us right to 300. Oh, 298 horsepower. You're freaking kidding me, dude. That's at 4,700 RPM. So 445. We can go for 50. 50. 30. 90. 30. 5. 0. Have a bit more fall off there. So this is above 300. So that's at 4,700. Let's go below that and bring this up some. 7. Yeah. This is to make you an even 500 then, huh? 505. Hey, that lets us know that we broke into the next gambit as it does that. Okay. So now we've got this curve with a max power of 302, and we're above. Okay, cool. So I'm going to take this one. I like that. I hope Ted gets a chance to see some of this stuff, because I think he's going to be really excited about getting this built. Let's give it a drive with the new power. Actually, so I can make sure that it has the new power, because right now it's still saying that. Boom. Oh, 348 brake horsepower with 3. Oh, watching the whole thing. Nice. He's reaching out to me on the Discord. All right, let's try this. Let's see. This is gonna be fucking. Ow! Oh god. Okay, so we've got a little over 302 wheel horsepower. Let's go. Oh yeah, she breaks up nice now. Breaks the traction. Here we go. Oh, it's got so much steering. I mean, even with that little bit of steering angle that we added, it's got so much of it. I think it's making tons of tire smoke now. Oh, crash. That's a good excuse to watch the replay. Oh, that's exciting. Let's see, let's chase. Oops. Go back here. Yeah, there we go. It's so boaty. There goes the tire smoke. Finally! Finally getting some tire smoke out of this thing. Look at that steering angle, guys. Look at that steering angle. All right, that's fun. All right, let's see. Let's go back to our in-car. Yeah, so now it'll respond to a clutch kick. See, that's the power difference right there. I'm sorry that I'm not speaking. I'm just, from where this car started to where it is now, I am just in shock at how good this thing is behaving. This is behaving so well. As he understeers into a berm. He lied. Look at this, I could just walk it. I wonder how it responds to left foot braking. I don't know. I haven't touched the brakes yet, so I don't know what the brake balance is. Oh. Let's do some left foot braking. All right, it gets a little understeery with left foot braking. All right, that's a little bit of left foot braking right there. Alright, so I wonder where the front bias is on those brakes. Let's take a look at that while we're left foot braking. Oh, it's actually not too bad. 65. We gotta do it. We gotta do it for the meme. Nice. Cockpit adjustable. You know what? I'll give him the opportunity to adjust that. Handbrake torque, 2200. Max torque, 2800. I'll probably just lock up the wheels, but that's fine. And then, so I like that. So now we're gonna muck around with some boost. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back here. Yeah. I'm gonna go here. I'll take your turbo information. So I don't like that it's all called turbo, even if you want to simulate a supercharger. But you know what? It is called turbo supercharging. Like it was all back in the day. It was all called turbocharging, and then they and then it was all it's called turbo supercharging at first. All right, so we're gonna start there. 0.5. 0.5. So what does that take us up to? That's actually not too bad. So 0.01 bar takes us up to actually not that much. I mean, we're just barely getting more power, which is good, which is, we want the gamma to be kind of supercharger-esque. So I'm going to say point 0.10. Let's go 0.15. We'll say it's an older supercharger. And we're going to lower the response. Cockpit adjustable, yes, please. All right. We're going to say your max boost is 1 bar. That's a lot. That's a lot of boost. I don't think you're actually going to be running that. So 0.05. Yeah, that's not really doing anything for us, so. 0.05, that's taking us, getting close. 0.09. We're at 327 horsepower. What if we go 0.5? We're getting real close to some of the money numbers here. .25. I can see that we're going to get real close to 400 horsepower. All right, so that's 0.25 bar of boost at the wastegate. I am looking at, so I'm going to take that. I'm going to pull that into our engine.ini. I'm going to go back to content manager. My dog just scared the shit out of me. We're going to go here. And we're going to go here. So 434 brake horsepower, 378 wheel horsepower. Yes, please. All right, so oh, I see what you're doing here. What if we drop this down to 1,000 and then drop this down to 1,500? Whoops. Then at 2,500, we're at 1. Yeah, I see. Let's try min-maxing that. No? Okay. Okay, so I don't think we have a control turbo 0.ini. So we're going to go to the folder and we're going to make one if I don't see it. We do not have that. No, we do have. Oh, that's my that's my drift car. So I'm going to steal that. And we're going to go in here. And I'm going to take these numbers. And we're gonna go, boop. Okay. All right, so now we can go here. There we go. So now we need to muck around with that some more to smooth that out. Whoops. Yeah, that's good. That will go down to 0. All right, so that smooths that out a lot, so we don't get that yeet as it comes on to boost, right? I mean, it can be fun. Like, I mean, that's like how every Supra ever tuned by anyone ever drives. You hit boost, it's like, ah! All right, so recalculate. So we're 434, 378. All right, what's it going to take to get us to 400 horsepower? .29. That's 390 horsepower. Let's see, 3.5. There we go. That's 406, 407, 408. Let's go down. Let's bring it back down to earth. 404. All right, so 3.2. We just barely are missing our target. Let's go 3.3. All right, there we go. That's 400 horsepower at the very top end of our of where we're making torque. So I need to fix this. Okay. All right, cool. All right, so let's go to your turbo. Engine.ini. We're gonna save that as your boost control. This is going to be your filtering. And now, if we go here, we should be able to go recalculate. 462 brake horsepower, 402 horsepower to the wheels. I think that's a solid number, and I'm about to prove a point. Dude, I'm telling you, man, this thing is so bouncy. It's just so wobbly, so wibbly wobbly. All right, let's. So this is 400 horsepower. I think I can go into third. Oh yeah, you can absolutely go into third. It just needs to handle better. is fun. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right, I've been drifting in second. Let's get the tires. The tires are nice and hot. Let's go up to third. Yeah, clutch kick it. There we go. All right, let's check some replay footage of that. Oh man. Yeah, she's getting those back tires nice and hot now. So we're gonna have to eventually, because of the power, we're gonna need to step up the tires and give them something better. Maybe like the Achilles. The Achilles might be too much. Maybe the Yokohama Advance from the Monte Carlo. Or from the Impala. I'll probably do a lot of the Impala stuff on this as far as the tires, because the tires from the Impala are really good. Yes! Yes! Oh my god, it's so wobbly. Why does it move why does it move so much? Look at all that tire smoke! Look at all that tire smoke! Oh my god, it bounces so much. That is silly. Yeah, third gear drifting. Wow. It is so bouncy. It's like. Wow. I wish it didn't bounce so much, but we're gonna fix all that. So let's see. So now we've got quite a bit of power. Let me fix my wheel. Boop. And then I'm going to go to my cars. Date modified. Doop, 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 doop. There you are. I'll go to the Lapmaster. So the Lapmaster Chevy Impala SS Street Drift. This is the car that I need to get uploaded so you guys can check this out. So I need to go here. TLM. That's TM. TLM. Stupid wireless keyboard. And we're gonna unpack that. Unpack that. Yep, cool. We are good to go. I'm going to go to the tires file. And that's from the Impala. And then we're going to go to the Monte Carlo and open up your tires. So your fronts are 180, 335, 230, whereas yours are 240, 330, 178. And then your rears are 185, 335, 230. And your rears are 305, 325, and again 178. Okay, so which tires are you rocking? You're rocking streets. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and give you the Advans. Yeah, we'll give you the Advans. I think that'll be a good tire for this. We'll change that 3. Whoops. 201. 1. 1. 1. I almost want to leave it with those wheels. 240, 330, 240 fronts, 305 rears, as opposed to 185 rears. Oof. And 185 fronts. So what we're going to have to do is fix that, because the wheels are larger on the Monte Carlo than they are on the Impala, apparently. That was the rear, so let's... Yeah. You know, 305 rears. And what are your fronts? Your fronts are also 185. I'm just going to change that. Okay. So that should be a bit grippier. Help us utilize that power. Now I need your Advan front. Advan front, for some reason, those both have the Advan front. And the T-curve Advan. So T-curve, Advan. And then there we go. Advan front. I'll move both those lit files in there. We'll do that. Save. Hopefully that doesn't break the car. Sometimes cars act funny when you try to assign them some weird tires. I'm going to change those to your default tire. So what Ted will be able to do is, I don't even know what the hell that is. I've never seen that. He'll be able to select the street tires if the Advans aren't doing it for him. Save. Drive. Let's see what we've got going on here. All right. So now we've got the Advans on the same gear ratio. Woo! Ooh, they're sticky. Oh, they're sticky. Oh, they're grabbing this. There we go. They're so sticky. But that's what I'm talking about right there. It's almost like you don't need suspension when you have good tires. That's not true. You absolutely need good suspension for drifting, regardless of how good you think your tires are. The tires are so grippy, they're freaking snatching the wheel out of my hand. I'll have to turn the force feedback down. Wow. That's still fighting. I love this. This is so good. You can go so much faster. So even though it looks like I'm messing up more, it's because the car is able to go so much faster and it's catching me off guard. There we go. There we go. Hold it together. Ugh. This thing grips hard. There we go. Wow. That's fun. That is a lot of fun. Those tires are insane. Whew, those tires are insane. That was a workout. I still have to go on a 3.5 mile run today. Let's see what else we've got going on. All right, so now I need suspension. So, where do I want to borrow suspension or do I want to build suspension? The nerd in me wants me to build suspension, but I need to go for a run and it takes hours to build suspension properly. I think what I'll do is I'm going to actually make this a little bit stiffer. 30,000 front, 300 rear. I'll leave all that alone. What I will do is I will I guess what I can do yeah, let's do this. I'm gonna let's borrow your first of all, I'm gonna make your static camber. It's 2.5 front, and the rear is going to be -1. Even though I think this car is a solid rear axle, so I don't think that matters. Yeah, solid rear axle. We could give it double wishbone suspension out back. That would be something else. That would be really fucking fun. Oh no, that would be so stupid. Okay, let's try this. Yeah, no, we can't. So we'll need to We'll have to. Oh no. So with solid rear axle cars, for those who are not like me and those who are like, if you're not like me and you're not old, a solid rear axle car, you can't really adjust the toe or camber, at least not without a hammer. So, oh no. So I'm gonna borrow some suspension from a different drifter, and we're gonna see how it performs, and we can make adjustments from there. So I'm gonna go drive. And I'm going to see how the setup looks, because it might put my setup at like some sort of weird, invalid thing. Ride height 197, 169. That's not terrible. Camber is 1.62, and that was at minus 2.5. Alright. Alright, so let's go for a drive with this suspension setup. Woo! Oh, that's very different. Okay. That's very different. I was driving it like it was still on stock suspension. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay, I have to relearn that. Wow, that was just crazy. What we may have to do is give it a bit more grip in the rear. Wow. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think this might be a little too stiff. Oh, that's not what she said. Wow, that was a handful. All right, so let's take you down a smidge. First, I'm gonna soften out your thing again. No, I'm gonna leave that at 30,000. Let's do 28,000, because it was at 27.6 before or something like that. Let's do 4,000. All right, so let's muck with your rears first, or your front rather. Let's go down to 10 or 100,000 rather. 90. Okay, so that's our front sorted. Let's soften out the rear. Oh man, that could be part of our problem. Let's see. Damp, fast rebound. Let's go 12.5. Let's actually copy these and then we'll go down from there. So I'm going to go up to spring rate. C. Spring rate. B. Like this. 90,000. I think this car could do with having like a softer spring rate in the back. We'll leave that. We'll leave that. We'll leave that. We'll see how that goes. Let's make sure our car doesn't look dumb. Yeah. It's broken. I love playing with these cars, dude. It's so funny to just break things. Oh wow, you probably shouldn't. Oh no. Oh no. That's so funny. The super squat. It's so true. Oh man. All right, so we're going to have to we're going to have to mess around with this guy cuz apparently we're making it way too soft. Doop, 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 doop. Spring rate we're going to go that's at that was at 100,000. So we're going to go at 100,000 as well. And let's see what that does. Actually, you know what I can do? I'm sitting here I'm doing this the hard way. I can just go align using data, wheel data. There we go. So let's do that. Let's do this. I'm gonna pull some stuff off the screen here. Let's see here. We're just gonna mess around here and try to get some semblance of a normal vehicle. And then we're gonna go. Let's go. And I still think that's too high of a number. I think 100's too high. I'm going to go 90. All right, let's... Yeah, it's still she be squatting. Let's see here. Let's see here. Oh, that's... I think... That's even worse. I love it. It's so funny to me. Oh, that's so funny to me. All right, let's do some min-maxing and see how that goes. It's got hydraulics, guys. It's got hydraulics, guys. It's got hydraulics. Oh no. Oh shit! I'm crying. I'm fucking crying, bro. Oh god, I can't. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, that was funny as shit, bro. I have no idea. It's just so bad. I've broken it so much. Oh, let's take these numbers down slightly, shall we? Oh my gosh. Okay, so we've stopped it from bouncing. Oh no. Oh my gosh, dude. Oh god, that hurt. That hurt so bad. Okay. Oh man. Your bump stop rate. Oh. Okay, so let's go back. Let's maybe try doing one thing at a time here. So spring rate, 90,000 front. Maybe 90, 85 rear. Oops. Oh my god, dude. That shit had me fucking crying laughing, man. Okay, you're starting to squat a little bit, but that's okay. We're gonna fix it. Oh. And then your bump stop rate. I think that's good to go. Bump stop rate up front is also 90. Here we'll also go 85. God damn. Okay. We're back. We're back under control. Your fast bump 6,000, or your damp bump is 10,500. Your fast bump is 6,500 up front, so let's go 55. Actually, let's go 6,000. Oops, that is too many zeros. That is too many zeros. Okay. Oh, God, dude, why? That hurt. And your fast rebound is 10,000 up front. So let's go. Oh, okay, so that's... Your damp rebound up front is 6,500. Let's go. Let's also make that 6,000. Oh, God, dude. That shit was tickling me. Alright, so we need to figure out why that number. Let's make them the same. Let's see. The car behaves itself? Nope. So, do we need to bump this up to 7,000? Nope. Maybe this number needs to go up if that number goes up. So this number probably needs to go up. So let's go 10,000, 10,000. Oops, no, don't fuck with that yet. Oops, nope. Yeah, don't fuck with that yet. Let's... It's just pure idiocy. I guess. Wrong button. There we go. Whoa. She's driving on her own, guys. She's driving on her own. It's getting worse. Let's go down. So I think the solid rear axle is not something I'm used to tuning for. So the car literally doesn't know how to behave with this. Let's go 5,000, 5,000. I might just go ahead and make it double wishbone suspension out back because I really don't know how to tune a solid rear axle, but I know Ted would really want the solid rear axle. All right, that looks like it's holding together. Let's set our fast bump back to that number there. All right, so I think that looks good to go. Let's try let's try driving it and see if it freaking flips out of the map or whatever the hell happens here. Okay, it's holding together. I'm gonna run over some stuff. Okay, so it's not too bad. I need to figure out. I need to build. Ow! I need to build some speed with it. It's very, very stiff, though. The suspension is always the part that takes forever. Okay. So let's go back to the drawing board on that guy. It's not doing bad. It's definitely a lot more composed. Oh man, that's really funny to me. Let's see. What if can I do that? Can I do that? Excuse me. Can I do that? I don't know. Can we do that? And get away with it will be the question. I don't know. Move. Jesus, everything's in the way. Alright, so let's try... Let's try this. I don't know if this is gonna work. I'm gonna see if I can pull something from one of my other cars here. The problem is that rear axle, man. It is just... It is not happy. But I want something a bit softer. Because I think too stiff is just... There's a joke in there somewhere. Too stiff is going to be weird. Alright, let's see. So you look composed. Borrow those settings. Let's drive. Okay, that's a little bit better. Oof. This seems to be a bit better. It wants a lot of steering angle, though, or a lot of steering input. But that could just be the fact that we're still rocking this old steering rack. does the Monte Carlo have a steering rack, or is it that like a rack and pinion, or is it that recirculating ball bullshit? All right, let's visit the jump on the replay. Oh yeah, you're riding high. That thing is on stilts. Oh, I want one of those in real life. I want one that sits exactly that high in real life. All right, let's oh no. Let's go to that thing was riding high like a Cirque du Soleil performer. Why is that thing sitting so tall? All right, let's set up 189, 175. That's actually really good. So let's go to your rod length. Ooh, baby, rod length. And we're going to go, actually, I'm going to leave that because that's only 100 front and 100 rear. So what I'm going to do is, instead of modifying the rod length, which is the length of your rod, I'm going to modify your pickup points on your car. So close that. Close that. Where's all the folders? Yeah, there we go. Car.ini. There we go. Yeah, let's go. I think higher is lower, so let's try. So let's go 40, 55, and let's see what that does, because we were 189, 175. Yeah, 187, 170. Okay. All right, so three. Let's go. Yeah. Let's leave that alone. Okay. So 182, 175. That's pretty good. Let's bring it back up some. And then try that. And that should bring our... Yep, that's about right. So now we're gonna drop the ride height with... We're gonna go 33, whoops, 53, 53, 60. Bigger number, lower, I believe. 174, 165. Jesus. Okay. Here we go. 87. Yeah, 150, 146. That's good. Okay. So let's go see the regular showroom. We can see how our car rides. It's still on jack stands. So let's drop it down. That's under, I think that's also under car.ini. Yeah. So let's open up CM showroom. Align using data. Okay. Let's move you out the way, please. Let's move you so we can kind of track in real time what it is we're doing. All right, let's see. Is that too low? Showroom. Doesn't look too low. Let's go 60. Oof, that is on the floor. Looks cool though. $62. Yeah, that's way too low. All right, fine. Let's try 57. I mean, that's pretty much like stock ride height right there. Let's change the color so I can see the difference. Okay. Okay. I think I might go back down to 60, dude. I think 60 was nice, but we're going to have to poke those wheels out some. Yeah, 60 is pretty much on the floor. Low car good. Low car good. Okay. There we go. All right, now she's low. I'm gonna go back to your suspension. We're gonna go front. We're gonna give you a bit more camber. Minus 5.5 degrees of camber. Yeah. 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 Okay, that's cool. All right, so now we're going to change your track. So to do this, what we're going to need to do is look in custom showroom. Align using data. Okay. And now I am going to look at the front here. Your track is 1486. What if we go 1500? 1700. Oh no. 1600. All right. 15. 50. All right. 1550. All right, I need to raise the car up a bit more. Car.ii. That was funny. Yeah, I think that's better. Because then we shouldn't have too much. Oh, no. I want to push those right out to the outside. Ah, okay, so there you go. So what you don't want is you don't want that clipping right there. Because that's if it's clipping while it's standing still, it's really gonna clip when you start driving her. All right, so let's bring the track back in some then, because I do think it needs to be a little lower than that. Suspension. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're kind of stuck doing that. All right, so let's look at your rear track here. I don't even know if we can mess with rear track with a solid rear axle car. I've never tried it. Suspension, rear track. Also, what do we have? 5.6 up front? 5.5. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, that's not too bad. All right, so let's go to showroom. Load you up. Okay. All right, I'm gonna drop it down on its graphics just a bit. Let's go back to 0.6. We're gonna reload the car. Okay, cool. Okay. Well, let's see. Let's see how that drives. Oh no. That's funny, dude. Woo, that is serious. Oh, I can't help but, so I think, again, I think I'm going a little too... Because once it's settled into the drift, it's doing really well. I think what's happening is... Oh... Yeah, once it's settled into the drift, it's doing real well. I think part of the problem is that I need to figure out how to build this car around a solid rear axle. That's not going to be easy. Because I don't have any cars that I've built for drifting that have a solid rear axle that are actually decent at what they do. Let me try this. I don't think this is a good idea, but it might be. Let's see. What if we go... I don't know. I really don't think this is going to be a good idea. What if I don't take any of that? What if I do this? The tire bottom and leave the steer alone. Oh, strut. I think that's different, yeah. So strut car, strut tire. I see that. Let's see if I go here. And then bottom front, bottom rear. I wonder if my Genesis has suspension file that I can utilize, or suspension settings. Not really. Let's see what happens if I showroom this. Probably just brakes. No? Yeah. Whoa! Oh. Oh. Oh, it's so good. 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 It's so funny to me. Yeah, so that. Oh. All right. So. Let's go here. See what happens if we do this. Okay, so that looks good. Let's go spring rate. Front. What do I have here? 30,000, 7,000. 28,000, 4,000. Let's go 6,000. Or 5,000 for the rear in Newton meters. For the spring, for the anti-roll bar. All right. I just realized I was doing that all off camera. Sorry about that. Or all off screen. Showroom. Okay. Let's drive. Let's see what happens when we drive. Woo! Okay, so that's a lot better. So what I did was I adopted some of the settings from my Pro Drifter to see, and I just kind of neutered them down for this car. The problem is you're going from a double wishbone suspension rear to a solid rear axle rear. But it seems to be doing okay. It's a little grabby, which is good. It's not snappy, which is probably what you want with a car that doesn't have a ton of steering angle. That's another thing that you have to keep in mind when you're trying to borrow settings from a different vehicle. You can't, if the car isn't going to be set up similarly, you can only use so much. Let's see what third gear does. Woo! She accelerates. I like it. All right, that's good. I like that. It just needs to... The problem is, again, the car control is going to be difficult without the steering angle to match the suspension, but I don't want that. It seems like it gets really... it seems like it gets really upset by bumps. So to me, that says things need to be softer. Let's watch the replay. So it's still a bit wobbly. That could be something to do with weight as well. But it's not nowhere near as bad as it was. Yeah, she's... Yeah, I think the only thing I will do is maybe soften it up a bit more. She gets real upset by bumps. So let's bring down the... Let's take up the front anti-roll bar and bring down the rear anti-roll bar to like 2,000 Newton meters. And we'll give this a go. Then I gotta go for a run. It's almost 2,100. I need to go for a run. Yeah, I think this is good. The problem will be if my buddy can drive it. Because it's kind of becoming one of those cars that, while not a pro drifter, it definitely wants your commitment to drive it. It doesn't... It's not just going to slip the tail end out and let you freaking effortlessly slide into oblivion. But it is very heavy. I haven't removed any of the weight. And part of me thinks that, you know, dropping 100, 200 kilograms off of it would help a lot. I want to try something here. I want to try adjusting, the rear track in from 4.9 to something like 4.7. That'll lean more towards like getting into pro drift territory, but that's at this point, that's probably something I could see someone doing. Like they'd be like, oh, I've got the solid rear axle, I can't do much there. But what I can do is I can push my fronts out far. Woo! Yeah, that's a little better. So it understeers quite a lot. But I am giving it a ton of rear grip. She isn't getting as upset by bumps, but it still wants to understeer, which is something we can work on. That's going to just be some tweaks in the overall suspension setup. So yeah, you see how she wants to push forward? You can get it sideways and it'll start to track sideways just fine. But you need to make those, you need to almost continuously make adjustments. And that's not a very friendly drifting car. So it's pulling the back end around, sometimes inadvertently. It's almost like it's trying to be unpredictable, but it's not unpredictable. It's doing what I ask, it's just not maintaining it. It makes me wish you can dial in rear camber, but you can't do that. The solid axle car. And I'm not about to do a suspension swap. I might have to look into how practical it is to go to an independent rear suspension setup on a, what are these, a G-body? I don't think independent rear suspension mods are a thing for these. Without like a torch. And a hammer. I mean, any suspension is independent rear suspension if you drive badly enough. Woo! It's almost like the car is too good for itself. So I need to figure out what the limits of this car are. It's quickly going from understeer to, from oversteer to understeer mid-drift. And I'm not smart enough to know what that is. Woo! Okay, so that's pretty cool. One thing I will do while I'm thinking about it, because I just hit the ABS, is I'm going to pull the ABS out. In a real car, it would not remove ABS, but for a sim racing drifter, I will pull your ABS. That's electronics. ABS. Present. 0, active 0. All right. Okay. Well, that's that. All right, cool. Well, that was fun. I think we've gotten pretty far with this. I think we did really well. Wow, that was a 3-hour stream. I need to go for a run and get some stuff knocked out because, yeah, I've only got like a half hour until the corgis need to go out. I'm going to go do that. I'll see you guys. I don't know when, but that was fun. I look forward to doing more drift building, and I'll try to jump on stream when I'm doing the next part of my build.